4 weeks since the school shooting in Uvalde, where 19 students and 2 teachers were killed. And the purpose of state hearings is to find out what went wrong.
We have live team coverage from 2 KPRC2 investigators, Robert Arnold and Joel Eisenbaum. Robert, we want to start with you. You were in Uvalde for the House hearings. Now you're in Austin covering the House and Senate hearings.
The head of the Texas Department of Public Safety told the Senate committee that within 3 minutes of the shooter entering the school, there were enough officers and firepower at the school to stop the killings. Yet it took more than an hour to end the rampage. That then led to a lengthy line of questioning about who was actually in charge of the police response. Much of the criticism over police response has been fixed on School District Police Chief Pete Arredondo.
The only thing stopping a hallway of dedicated officers from entering room 111 and 112 was the on-scene commander, who decided to place the lives of officers before the lives of children.
Testifying before a state Senate committee, the head of the Texas Department of Public Safety, Steve McCraw, called the police response an abject failure. Chief Arredondo was among the first officers in the school, and he was the ranking officer. State Senator Paul Betancourt pointed to KPRC2 Investigate's earlier reporting that school district police officers had undergone active shooter training, including the chief, who had also had training in managing critical incidents, and that the department even hosted an active shooter training at the high school in March.
Now, I'm going to submit to you, I don't believe there's any training in the world that could have helped this incident commander, because this last 25 minutes from 12:21 to 12:46 is a disgraceful diatribe of somebody that cannot possibly have responded to this crisis.
McCraw further testified the door to the classroom where the shooter was located was not locked, yet officers waited for a master key. State Senator Roland Gutierrez then had a tense exchange with McCraw, asking whether dozens of other officers who arrived could have entered the classroom with or without an incident commander okaying the order. Arredondo had previously stated he did not believe he was the incident commander.
Active shooter protocol or incident commander, which one takes precedent of those two protocols?
Active shooter, always.
Oh, you just testified that active shooter protocols take precedent over incident commander, and therefore every officer in that room should have just gone into that room. And you and I have had that discussion before, haven't we?
Well, that's a little bit disingenuous, but yes.
Disingenuous, why?
Because bottom line is there's always someone that takes the lead.
While this exchange was happening, Arredondo was across the Capitol testifying behind closed doors before a House investigative committee. He tried to avoid cameras after completing his testimony and answered no questions.
What anything to say to the parents who've called for your resignation?
The House committee will head back to Uvalde next week to hear more testimony. The Senate committee will reconvene tomorrow morning again in Austin. One of the things that came out of the Senate committee hearing is a very detailed timeline of the shooting. My colleague, KPRC2 Joel Eisenbaum, has been going over that timeline. He's in the studio with his report.
It has been almost a month now, but we finally have a clearer understanding of the shooter's movements. Essentially, we know who was where and when. Ramos crashed his grandmother's car right here at 11:28 a.m. into sort of a culvert, and it's at that point he can see the school. Robb Elementary, right here, is his target. That Salvador Ramos is armed is immediately apparent. A teacher calls 911 within 1 minute of the crash as Ramos takes a somewhat circuitous route to get into here, the west entrance. He's already firing when he comes in. We know now he entered an unmanned and unlocked door through the school's west entrance. He's inside that school in less than 5 minutes after that car crash. Let's switch now to the inside map of the school. DPS says Ramos, and Ramos is here, the red arrows is his path, and he's firing in the hallway. Firing at classrooms 111 and 112 in the hallway. It's about at that same time, 6 Uvalde PD officers come through that west door, and 4 officers come through this south entrance right here. And in this group is the ISD police chief, Pete Arredondo. The shooter is moving in between now 112 and 111. Through this doorway between the classrooms. He is killing people, mostly children. On the map, they're marked here with the C's. The T's are teachers. All of these people were killed. DPS says these doors did not lock from the inside. The doors going out to the hallway did not lock from the inside, so police could have gone right through at least one of them. Instead, officers from multiple agencies were stacked in the hallway, thinking and at points disagreeing about what to do next. They waited for equipment. They fumbled for keys. The shooter is in these classrooms for an hour and 17 minutes before the doors breached and the shooter is killed in this spot right here, marked S. It's absolutely horrific. There's no other way to put it. Joel Eisenbaum, KPRC 2 News.